Hello everyone, dear students. In the Gujarat University curriculum, in semester 6, particularly in the category of organic practical, there is an exercise called separation of binary mixture. Now you all are familiar with qualitative analysis of organic substance because you have performed that in semester 2nd and semester 4, particularly Gujarat University students. So, here in the semester 6, you will be given binary mixture. It means that the mixture of two substances. So, first of all, you have to separate them, and after separation, you have to perform qualitative analysis of both the substances. It means that you have to identify both the substances. So, in this video, first we will discuss some very important concept for the separation of binary mixture. Now basically these mixtures are of the three main types. First type is called solid-solid mixture. Both components of the mixture are in the solid state. Their separation is carried out on the basis of solubility. Such mixture is subcategorized in two different classes. First, water soluble and water insoluble. One component is water soluble and another is water insoluble. So that is Ws soluble plus water insoluble. And another subclass is both components are water insoluble. So we will say it is a water insoluble, water insoluble. Second type is solid liquid mixture. One compound is solid and another is in the liquid phase. And third is both compounds are in the liquid phase. So second and third type, their separation is carried out by different method. It is done by the distillation process. So we will discuss it in a separate video. But in my next video, first we will start discussion of the solid-solid type. Now before we discuss and move to the next video, there are a few very important concepts which I want to discuss with you, and you should thoroughly understand those concepts. Then separation of binary mixture would be very easy for you. First is, because I have written here that their separation is on the basis of solubility. So exactly what is it? So suppose we have a sugar and we found that sand is also mixed with the sugar and we want to separate it. Mixture of sand and sugar. So what we will do? One way is if we have the selective molecular sieve. ગુજરાતીમાં જેને ચાયણી કહે છે ચારણી, where there is a selective pore size, so it can restrict the sugar but it can pass through the sand, so that way you can separate it. Another method is just keep that mixture into the dish, and ants, they will pick the sugar particles, but just I am just joking, because that is also one method of a separation. But proper method is, because we know that sugar is water soluble and sand is water insoluble, so here we will use water as a solvent and we will exploit this difference of solubility. So we will first take the beaker, we will add that mixture sand and sugar, and we will stir it very well. So what will happen? Sugar will dissolve as it is water soluble. Sand, which is water insoluble, will settle at the bottom of the beaker. Now, if you filter it, then easily we can remove sand from the mixture. So, very important concept I want to teach you and you should remember always is the component which is insoluble into the particular solvent, that separate out first. See here, sand was water insoluble, So that is first separate out. So component that doesn't dissolve, separate first. This line, thumb line, you should remember and keep this thing in your mind. But see, now after filtration, we will get where is sugar? It is in the form of this aqueous solution. So instead of sugar, you have its aqueous solution. So how will you get it? You have to evaporate the water and then you may get the crystals of the sugar. So the component which dissolve cannot easily separate by a specific method. We have to separate it. So this very important point you should remember. Again, I am repeating, the component that does not dissolve separate out first, and the one which dissolves we have to actually separate it by a suitable technique. This is the one concept. Second thing, so always remember that such mixture, water soluble and water insoluble, that can be separate by using water. Like the just we have discussed the mixture of sugar and sand. But water insoluble mixture, now here you cannot use water. So such mixture is separated by solubility test. Now let me remind you, in the qualitative analysis, you are familiar with these solubility tests and you perform those tests to know the nature of the organic compound. Organic compounds can have the one of the four kind of nature. They can be amphoteric also, acidic, phenolic, basic and neutral. So since we are going to use this test for the separation, so let me remind you, substance with NHCO3 dissolve with the effervescence of carbon dioxide, and when you add HCl it get reprecipitate, then we will say such compound is acid. Now second test, substance dissolve in NaOH after stirring and reprecipitate with HCl, then the type of compound may be acid or phenol. And substance dissolve in HCl, normally organic substances they are taking little bit more time in dissolving in HCl and they reprecipitate with NaOH, then the nature of the compound is basic nature. And all these three types are absent, then we will say compound is neutral. So you have to remember, and it should be by heart to you. Keep these three tests in your mind, because water insoluble mixture, we will separate it on the basis of these solubility tests. So from the next video, we will start discussion about the separation of the solid mixture.